Hi computer scientists, Mr. Stafford here, and today I wanted to show you Unit 5, Lesson 3, Traversing a 2D Array by Columns. So it says import owner.java from your backpack. So you go to backpack, find owner, and import it. I've already done that here. It says in owner.java, write the calculate dessert inventories method to calculate and print the total quantities available for each dessert using a column major order traversal. So in myfoodtruck.java, call the calculate dessert inventories method to display the results. So what it does for me is it gives me some starter code that I'm going to copy, and it says to do, calculate and print the total quantities available for each dessert using column major order traversal. So what it's wanting me to do is calculate the quantities of the cakes, the pies, and the donuts. So okay, here's what I'm going to do first. So I'm going to say for int call is going to be equal to 0. Call is going to be less than the array that's holding onto my inventories, which is called truck inventories, at index 0 dot length, and call plus plus, and then for int row equals 0, row is going to be less than truck inventories dot length row plus plus. And what I want to do is print out, so the instructions tell me to print the total quantities available for each dessert using column major order traversal. So what I'm going to do is make a variable to hold on to the total number of cakes. So I'm going to say int cakes equals 0, and I know that cakes is equal to, or is the first column or column 0. So I'm going to say if call is equal to 0, what I want to do is do cakes plus plus, okay? And then the pies are going to be the next column. So actually, instead of cakes plus plus, because that would just add 1 and not the actual value, what I want to do is cakes plus equals truck inventories at row call. Now call would be column 0, but I'm going to use it for column right there. Okay, next, else if my call is equal to 1, that's going to be for the pies, okay? So I'm going to do I'm going to make sure that my truck inventories is 3 columns. It is 3 columns. Okay, so I've got a variable for cakes. I'm going to make a variable for pies, and I'm going to say pies plus equals truck inventories at index row call, and then else. So else my column is going to be column 0, 1, 2 is going to be column 2. So this is going to be for donuts. So I need to make another variable int donuts, equals 0 before the loop. And then I'm going to go donuts plus equals truck inventories row call. Okay. And then it's asking me to print it, if I remember right. It says to calculate and print the total quantities available for each dessert. Okay, so this is a void method, so that means that I need to print all of these. So I need to get outside of my outer for loop, but still inside the method. So I'm going to do a system.out.println total cakes is, and then concatenate cakes. Do that same thing for pies. Total pies is equal to pies. And do that same thing for donuts. Okay, and to test this, so I'm going to run this just to see if I have any errors so far. I don't have any errors. It says in my foodtruck.java, call the calculate desserts inventories method to display the desserts. So what I need to do is say food truck owner dot calculate dessert inventories. We'll run this, see what happens. I've got 28, 10, and 40. I want to check that. So 6 and 5 is 12 and 8. Six and 5 is 11, and 8 is 19, and 9 is 28. Okay, just a quick check and a quiz on my math skills. Okay, so that's good. Total pies, and I misspelled pies I see in my printout, so I'm going to change that. Total pies should be 10, and I'm going to double check that it is 3 and 2 and 5, and 4 and 1 is 5 also, and that makes sense. Okay, so I think that we're good there. Go ahead and click finish. Next level says, this method is supposed to print the average price for each dessert, but there's an error. Add the method to owner.java, so I'm going to flow to owner.java, and add a call to the method in myfoodtruck.java, then find and correct the error in the code. So here's the code that they're wanting me to find the error in. So I'm going to copy this. And this is the average dessert price. So we have for int call equals 0. Call is less than truck prices dot length. And I'm seeing right here, if I'm looking at the column, what I need to do is get the row number for the length, which I'm going to say it is at 0.length, and then call plus plus, and then do double dessert prices, double dessert price sum equals 0. And I also see that if I were to run this, the dessert price sum is going to be set equal to 0 each time, which does make sense because I want the prices for all the different desserts. Okay, maybe I need to set that out. I'm going to reread these instructions. So this method is supposed to print the average price for each dessert, but there's an error. So I want to go back here, and I need to make a call to this method. So I'm going to say food truck owner dot average dessert price. And we'll run this, see what happens. It says average price for dessert. Okay, so this is what it's got for me. Average price for dessert, and I'm going to make the printout just a little bit better. System.out.println. Run it again. And so the average price should be $10.75 for the cakes, $6.625 for the pies, and then donuts should be $1 is what this is telling me for the prices. So let's check the donut average. So $1 and $1.25 and 75 cents. That'll be $3, $4. $4 divided by 4 is 1. So this seems to be working out pretty good. The only error in it that I found was that I needed to specify the row number in this conditional for that first for loop. So I'm going to click Finish. Level number 4 says import image editor.java. So I'm going to go to Backpack, and I need to look for image editor. And I don't think that I have it committed, so I need to go back to a previous level where I did have it. So I'm going to go back to level 2, and I need to look for image editor. So I have image effect, but I don't have image editor. So what I'm going to do is still import image effect. So I'm going to hit the drop down. No, I'm not. I'm going to hit commit code, and then I am committing image effect.java being committed. Okay, we'll commit that. Flow back to level 4. Okay. And I'm going to go to the backpack and look at and I still don't see image effect. So I'm going to refresh the page, see if it's an issue with that, and go to Backpack and look for image effect. Flow back, maybe I didn't import it. I'll commit this code, and I didn't select it. So image effect, I'm going to tick that and do commit image effect and hit commit and save. And I think that that was the issue. I didn't select the file. Okay, so flowing back to level 4, go to my backpack, find image effect and hit import. And it says write the mirrored image class which extends image. Okay, so I need to go new file and write the mirrored image.java. Don't forget the .java. I'm going to hit cancel and write the mirrored image class which extends image. So I already have it here. I just need to extend image. So this needs to say extends image. Okay? And then a mirrored image has a 2D pixel array called image pixels. So in this comment here it says declare a 2D pixel array called image pixels. So I'm going to make it private since it's an instance variable. It's a 2D pixel array, so pixel array, and call it image pixels. Okay. Which is initialized in the constructor using image editor.get pixels. Okay. So I have this constructor for my mirrored images, and I am initializing this image pixels. So I'm going to say this dot image pixels is going to be equal to file name dot get pixels method. Okay. And I'm going to make sure that this says image editor, but I have image effect, and I want to make sure that I have the get pixels method, which I do right here. So it's called get pixels. Okay, so I am using the correct method from the correct class. It says use this keyword as the argument to get pixels to pass the current object. Okay, so actually what I want to do, if I'm going to extend image, what I should do is this. I'm going to make a call to super and feed it file name. And my image pixels, I'm going to make a call to image effect. So I need to say the name of image effect and say get pixels, and it's looking for the image. Okay, so I'm going to say use the keyword this, because that's what it's having me do here. Use the this keyword as the argument to get pixels to pass the current object. Okay, that looks good. And then in mirroredimage.java, so in mirroredimage.java, write the vertical mirror method by first declaring pixel variables left pixel and right pixel and initializing both to null. Okay, so I'm going to make a pixel variable, call it left pixel, and initialize it to null. Do the same thing with right pixel and initialize it to null. Step number 2 says declare and initialize an int variable called width, so int width, to the number of columns in image pixels. Okay, so width is going to be the number of columns that I have in image pixels. So this is going to be image pixels, and then I'm going to say at row 0 dot length, and that should be the width of it. Okay, and then it says traverse half of the width of the image pixels array in column major order. Okay, so this is going to be column major order, and I need to traverse half of it. So it's going to be for int call is going to be equal to 0. Call is going to be less than image pixels at index 0 dot length, but I want half of this, so I am going to divide this by 2. Okay, and then I'm going to go call plus plus. And actually, to make this a little bit neater, I just made this width variable that's the same thing as this image pixels at 0 dot length. So instead of all of that, I'm just going to use my width variable, which makes a little bit more sense in my head at first glance when I just want half of the width, because it's width divided by 2. Traverse half of the width. Okay, very good. And then I need my nested for loop for the rows. For int row is equal to 0. Row is going to be less than image pixels dot length, and then row plus plus. Open up these curly braces. Okay, and then it says set right pixel to the pixel on the opposite side using. So I need to set I think I jumped some instructions. I think I did. Traverse half the width with image pixel array in column major order. I did. The first thing I need to do is set left pixel to the current pixel. Okay. So I'm going to say left pixel to the current pixel. Left pixel is going to be equal to, so I'm in this image pixels array, image pixels, and it's going to be row call. All right. And then set the right pixel, so I'm going to say right pixel is going to be equal to the opposite sides using width minus 1 minus column. All right, so that's going to be for my column. So I'm going to use image pixels row, so I'm in the same row, but then it's going to be width minus 1 minus call. Okay, and then it says use set color and get color to set the color of the right pixel to the color of the left pixel. Okay, so I need to talk to right pixel, so say right pixel dot set color, and I'm setting the color of the right pixel to the color of the left pixel. So I need to talk to left pixel dot get the color from the left pixel. Okay, and then it asks me to test my mirrored image in my concert.java. I'm going to see if I can test it in my class.java. Okay, so this is, I got a couple of comments here. The method that we just wrote was vertical mirror. So I'm going to say underneath the vertical mirror, I'm going to say my stage dot, and just copy this vertical mirror method and run it. Okay, so I've got an error here. It says my class at line 5. It says class my concert is public but should be declared in a file named myconcert.java. Okay, so there's my class. So I'm going to rename this to my concert.java. Okay. So we can rename that. Let's clear the console and rerun this. See if I get any other errors. It says can't find symbol my stage dot vertical mirror. And it's probably because I need to create a mirrored object first. So I'm going to do that here. So I'm going to say mirrored image, name it mirror, is going to be equal to a new mirrored image. And I already have the image of a city block. So I'm going to copy and paste that file in for here. Okay, clear the console one more time and run this. And then it says it can't find my stage vertical mirror because I'm not running this on my stage. I am running this on mirror. Okay, clear that console and then rerun this. And then I have a file not found exception. Okay, that it can't find city block. So I'm going to go to manage assets Okay. And I don't have a city block in my managed assets folder. So I'm going to Google image city block. And go to images. And let's take this city block. And I'm going to save image as. And name this city block and save it. Make sure that it is a JPEG. Flow back, manage my assets, and I'm going to upload file. In my downloads, I've got city block, and open it. Okay. Now let's clear the console, stop and run. And it popped up. Okay. Very good. So I'm looking at this, and I'm trying to determine if it ran the way that I had in mind, because it should be mirrored vertically. So I'm going to double check. It doesn't look like anything has been mirrored or changed. So I'm going to look again at my code and determine if anything needs to be changed here. So left pixel is null, right pixel is null, image pixels at 0.length. I'm going to int call is 0, call is less than width divided by 2, call plus plus. Row is 0, row is less than image pixels dot length, row plus plus. Left pixel at image pixels, row call. Right pixel is at image pixels, row width minus 1 minus call. And then right pixels dot set color, left pixel dot get color. That looks okay to me. And I haven't drawn the mirrored image on my stage yet. Okay. So I see that I draw the mirrored image. So I draw the image up here, mystage.draw image. So that's the other image. That's the first image that I have. But what I want to draw instead of that city block is mirror. And let's try this. Okay, I need to read those comments better. And then I saw it change, and now I'm seeing the image be mirrored. So it gives you a 1 second pause, and then it does mirror your image. Okay, we'll hit finish. And move on to lesson number 5, which says import mirrored image.java from your backpack. And I didn't commit it, so I gotta go back, go to mirrored image. I'm gonna commit code, so commit mirrored image. Make sure I select it this time. And then go to my backpack, find mirrored image, and import it. And it says, since mirrored image is an image, it can cause a file not found exception if image file is not found in theatercontrol.java. Add the instance variable private static mirrored image temp mirror. Okay, so I'm going to add that instance variable. Okay, underneath, so I'm in mirrored image and I added it underneath my pixel 2D array. And then it says add the following method to theatercontrol.java. And this method checks that the file exists before creating and returning a mirrored image. So I need to copy this code that they give for me, or give to me. Public static mirrored image, create mirrored image. Okay, I'm going to run this, make sure I don't have any errors. I do have an error. And mirrored image. Oh, I forgot my semicolon when I made that instance variable. We'll rerun this. And in theta control on line 19, it says can't find symbol temp mirror. Okay. So that may be for another level. I'm going to read the instructions one more time just to make sure. We imported a mirrored image. Since mirrored image is an image, it can cause a file not found exception. If the image file is not found in theta control, add the instance variable private static mirrored image. Oh, I was supposed to do that in theta control. Okay, private static mirrored image temp mirror. Okay, and I'm going to remove it from my mirrored image where I initially added it. Okay, so I'm in theta control, clear the console, run it again. And that seems to work. Okay, click finish. Step 6, it says let's use mirrored image object in the concert. In sustainable concert, add a mirrored image instance variable called mirrored. Okay, so I'm going to say private mirrored image mirrored, and it says add a string file name to the constructor parameters. Okay, so here's a sustainable concert. I have a string 2D array called concert images. I also need to add a string parameter called file name, and then initialize mirrored. So I'm going to say this dot mirrored to the mirrored object returned from the call theta control create mirrored image file name. Okay. So file name is from the parameter that we're feeding in. And then it says update the play concert method to display the mirrored image. Okay, so we need to find play concert. So update the play concert method to display the mirrored image. It says add a pause after the create collage. So I'm going to say my stage dot pause, and I'm going to pause it for a second. And then it says call the vertical mirror method on mirrored. So I'm going to say mirrored dot vertical mirror, and then draw mirrored on my stage. Okay, so I'm going to say my stage dot draw image mirrored, and I'm going to do it at 0, 0. My stage dot get width, my stage dot get height, and I'm not going to rotate it. Okay, let's run this, see if we have any errors. And we do. Okay, so my concert line 6, it says error constructor sustainable concert in class sustainable concert can't be applied to given types. So what we've done with sustainable concert is we have included another file name. So what I should do is include a file. I'm going to use the citycars.jpg. And stop this and run it.